That'd work a lot better.
Yeah, I know it would, yeah. Okay, take
All right,
take
this
two.
is gonna be an outtake.
I caught it, but I tripped. I tried.
We'll try again.
All right. Well, like third time's the charm.
Gleben, glooben, glaben, globen. In the chocolate, in the vision, in the skateboard in California. In the poker sports in Sweden, in the booby Westfall.
Of course you throw that in there. Swedish.
That was my Swedish chef.
Awesome. I can't wait to see the subtitles.
Okay, so this episode we are reviewing this helmet from POC Sports. And I'm really excited actually to do this review in particular because POC Sports doesn't have any reviews for this helmet. I mean, they have those like lame kind of reviews. Like if you look online, you'll find a blog that just repeats the information that's on the corporate website. So that's
really, it's not a review, it's
not
just
really a review.
A continuation of the same information.
Exactly. So this helmet is one that I've had for a few months, and I think it's really awesome. I'm not the only one that thinks it's awesome. It's actually won a few design awards as well. Now, since helmets are obviously very specific to your head size, and normally when Julie and I will do a review, we will share whatever it is we're reviewing. We'll both ride the skateboard, we'll both, but we can't both wear the helmet because it doesn't fit her.
But I did try it, and I thought it was nice. It was comfy at least, and even though it's just a little bit one size too big, I still found like it laid low on my head, which for me is kind of important because I can't handle when it's high up. I feel like I'm a bobblehead and it just doesn't work out. And I like the sleek design. I think it's got some very interesting ideas to it, and I'm guessing these are not just for style, they're probably else for like ventilation or something of that sort. And it's also, and the cool part is that when it sits low, it's also got that foam that's, I'm guessing it's certified for most helmets, the thick foam that is break proof, you know what I mean? So it just seems like a really great helmet, real safe, and I like the style a lot. Almost old school feel, I think, too.
Cool. Cool. Well, to give you a little bit more information on some of the details about the helmet, this inner liner thing that she was mentioning is, I don't know, you probably can't see from this, but when you see the close-ups, you'll see that there's actually 2 layers within this helmet. And the inner layer is called the APB layer, which stands for what is it? I think, no, it's not amaranth. But it's protection barrier, and it's basically well, it's Kevlar is what it is. This is actually designed for skiing.
That's awesome.
And
so it's real protective.
Yes, it's designed, the Kevlar is designed so that if you hit a tree and a tree branch won't penetrate it, which is obviously kind of overkill for skateboarding. You're really not going to hit many tree branches when you're skating.
Sunny could have used that for sure. Sunny and Jared.
Sunny could have used this. Yes.
And I love them.
Yeah, Sunny Bono definitely could have used a backcountry helmet.
First, let's show you some good close-ups of the helmet so you can really appreciate the design and craftsmanship. The shell is made of acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, also known as ABS, polycarbonate. Now, most bicycle helmets are made out of ABS plastic, and most, say, plastic motorcycle helmets are made out of polycarbonate, which is, of course, much harder. This is somewhere in between. It's actually a mix of the two, so it's stronger than standard bicycle helmets, but not quite as strong as a motorcycle helmet. And that's why the shell is so glossy. You see how much it shines and sparkles. People compliment me on that a lot, and they're like, wow, that helmet's so shiny. Well, that's why, because it's actually made out of a much harder plastic than standard skateboard helmets. Now, you'll also notice there's an inner shell as well, which is made of polycarbonate polytetrafluoroethylene, also known as PTFE. That is basically a form of Teflon. Now, why would you have a Teflon inner liner on a helmet? Well, I'll explain that in a little bit later. So there's a bit of a gap between these two shells, which create the ventilated double shell anti-penetration system known as the VDSAP. And you can see here the inner vents inside the helmet, which allow the air to vent to your head so you're not all sweaty. In addition to being Teflon coated, the inner shell of the helmet is also an aramid penetration barrier, which is basically a form of Kevlar. Aramid, that is. Aramid's a form of Kevlar. The foam padding inside is made of expanded polypropylene, which is slightly better than expanded polystyrene, which is used in most helmets. ProTech also makes an expanded polypropylene helmet, but their brand name for it is SXP. So this uses the better stuff. So what makes it the better stuff? Well, EPP foam, as opposed to EPS foam, is a little bit more rubbery, and it's supposed to have a little bit more rebound to it. So it's actually better for multi-impact helmets, which is what most skateboarding helmets are. Another feature of the helmet is, you can see the sticker right there. It's lined with polygene or polygyne or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce this stuff. Anyway, it's basically a coating that is used on the inner foam, and as you can see here from the diagram, a little explanation, it's to inhibit the growth of bacteria so that the foam doesn't start to smell and stuff like that. It gets all icky in your helmet, so this is supposed to reduce that. Plus, it's also supposedly going to make it less likely that the foam will start to break down and fall apart after a while. And you can see here it's fully removable, just Velcro foam that you can take out and wash, and pretty standard feature of most helmets, but the polygene is a little special. One of the most advanced features of this helmet is a system called MIPS, and rather than me explain it, I will let Peter Halden, the Chief Technology Officer of MIPS, tell you what it's all about.
Normally in a helmet there is an outer shell and an inner shell which are glued together. In this helmet we separated the outer shell and the inner shell by a low friction layer. So the outer shell can move like this when we have an oblique impact to the helmet.
So now you understand why the inner shell has a Teflon coating. Remember earlier I said I'd tell you why? It's so it can slide inside the outer shell.
The idea was taken from our head, where the brain can slide a little bit in the cerebrospinal fluid against the skull, and by this reducing also some of the rotational energy otherwise transformed into the brain.
We can see that illustrated here with these computer models of the brain. The upper left represents a brain that was using a conventional helmet, and you can see the red area represents more damage, more load taken directly to the brain mass. The helmet on the right used MIPS technology, and you can see there's not as much red. In fact, the red is almost entirely eliminated, and so you can understand the advantages of using a helmet with MIPS. The final feature to mention with this helmet is the Reco Avalanche rescue system, which is, of course, completely useless if you're a skateboarder. If you are a snowboarder or a skier, though, it's a really cool thing. And these attachments here, the chin strap connectors, that has extra like earmuff things that go on right there, and that contains the Reco system. Now, what it basically is a passive sensor that is used by rescue teams in case you get buried in the snow in an avalanche. So it's a really great safety feature to have so you don't suffocate to death in a snowdrift. All these really cool features and all this great stuff is pretty much useless, though, if it doesn't work, right? So we will move on to the certifications that this helmet conforms to. Now, according to the manual, the backcountry helmet complies to the European and the United States standards for ski and snowboard helmets. And it also says that there should be a sticker inside which indicates that it conforms to these standards. Now, as you can see, my helmet doesn't have one of those stickers. It only has the serial number, the polygene, and the standard warning sticker. Here you can see an example of a Bell Faction helmet, which does have a size sticker, and it also has this compliance sticker for the Consumer Product Safety Commission standards of bicycle helmets. Now, I thought it was kind of weird that my helmet didn't have one of those stickers, so I contacted customer service at POC Sports, and I received a reply, and this woman, Candace, not only sent me an email, but she took the time to take a photograph of one of the certification stickers inside of the backcountry helmet. I didn't ask her to do that. She just took the initiative and did it on her own, and I thought that was pretty cool of her. And she also sent a photo of the size sticker that should be on the back of the helmet. I also got a response from Oscar, who is the product development director in Sweden, and he indicated that the backcountry is pretty much identical to the Receptor Plus helmet. This is why that's so impressive. This is the POC Sports Receptor Plus helmet, which, as you can see, conforms to 7 international safety standards. That is more than any other action sports helmet in the world. And the Backcountry helmet, which I am reviewing, is the exact same design, plus it adds the MIPS technology. So let's move on to a quick unboxing. Here we have the original box that the helmet actually shipped in. Now, as you can see inside, there is no product box. It's supposed to have one, but didn't come with one. So I don't know why the company I ordered it from, All Sport Protection, they took it out of the box. But anyway, this is what it was sent in. The helmet was inside this protective bag. And then here we have all the accessories that came along with it. Of course, we have some extra pads. Always a great thing, always very cool when a company includes extra pads. This goggle clip, completely useless to me again as a skateboarder. I'm not wearing goggles, but for the skiers and snowboarders, nice little feature to have. Now, these are extra pins and a little instruction manual for the MIPS system. The MIPS inner shell is held in place by this little plastic pin, and if there's a really hard impact, that pin is supposed to snap, and that's what allows the shell to move. So if that happens to you, you can actually replace the pin. This is really cool. This is just a little carrying bag. Now, it might seem like, well, what's so great about that? Well, personally, I'm always throwing my helmet like in my backpack and stuff like that when I'm going to the skate park. So having a little bag to carry it around in is great because it really protects the helmet, prevents it from getting little scratches and stuff like that on it. And, you know, over the course of time, those really tiny, like, micro scratches are what really makes the helmet look dull and kind of bleh after a while. So it's nice to have a bag like that. Now, this is all the winter stuff. This right here is a vent cover. You put this inside your helmet, and it covers up the ventilation holes if you're doing winter sports so that you don't freeze your butt off. Now, this right here is part of the Reco rescue system that I mentioned earlier. You can see they're kind of like earmuff things, and those 2 little buttons there are what snap to the chin straps. And then right here, this is the actual sensor inside there where it says Reco Advanced Rescue Technology. So that part kind of wraps around your neck, keeps your neck warm, and then you have the earmuff things to keep your ears a little bit warm. And of course, you have the Avalanche system so that you don't die in an avalanche. Here we have the product literature for the Polygene system. Kind of just goes over the basics of what it does and what it's used for. After that, we have just the basic, I don't know, what do you call this? The product card. Tells some of the features of the helmet. Now you'll see why I was obsessed with that size sticker on the helmet. This is the instruction manual. Look, it says extra large. I didn't order an extra large, I ordered a large. So I honestly don't know what I received. Do I have a large helmet or do I have an extra large helmet? This is important, of course, because if I ever want to buy another one, I can't compare it to what I already own. I don't know which one I was sent. The final piece among the product literature is some stuff on the Reco system, so they can let you know basically how it works, and then another booklet here that also goes into a little further detail on the Reco system and tells you how to avoid avalanches and things of that nature. So there you go. There's all the stuff that comes along with the Backcountry helmet. So what have we learned after 20 minutes of the most long-winded helmet review in history? Well, this right here, this footage you're watching now, is the very first time that I ever wore this darn thing. Yep, that's my very first run on this helmet at Venice Beach. So after a good few months of owning this thing, I have to say I really, really dig it a lot. I think it's an amazing helmet. It's got fantastic technology. It looks really good. It's very comfortable to wear. And simply knowing all of the work and effort that's gone into it, all of the safety features that has been built into it, it really gives you some good peace of mind to wear it. No pun intended. Sorry about that. Oh, peace of mind, helmet. Yeah, that was bad. So, yeah, love this helmet. Wear it all the time now. And definitely highly recommend that you pick one up if you're interested in getting a helmet that's a little bit different, and a helmet that is probably, truly the most technologically advanced action sports helmet available on the market in the year 2011.
All right, well, thanks for watching this episode of Skateboarding California, our review of the POC Sports Backcountry Receptor helmet.
Oh,
Yes.
really? The whole name?
Yeah.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Am I still in frame? Oh, okay.
Remember, don't screw up.
Just checking. Never do. I was so waiting to fall.
Grind.
Yeah. I was so waiting to fall after being cocky.
Yeah.